Welcome to the Whiskey Vault. I am Daniel Whittington, Chancellor of Wizard Academy Whiskey Marketing School and a Level 4 Whiskey Sommelier. When should you break up with a whiskey? Not all whiskey. There comes a time in your life when you may need to break up with all whiskey, and a bunch of our friends have been there. That's part of the reason Dry Week exists. But there's also a point where there's a whiskey you just can't get a handle on. And every time you try it, you feel like you should enjoy it, but you don't. When do you call it quits? When do you have the, look, it's not you, it's me, conversation with a whiskey? First, there are reasons that we stay, so let's quantify those really quick. First, exploration. In our previous videos, we've talked about like, hey, how to explore at bars, how to try different things, how to build your palate. And maybe you bought a bottle or a category of whiskey like rye, and you're just like, I just can't, or peated scotch, I just can't get a handle on it. I've tried all the things everyone says is amazing. I still don't really enjoy it. But you keep trying because you're supposed to, because you're trying to explore and build your palate. That's fine, I get that. If you're studying for a whiskey sommelier exam, you might need to drink things you don't actually prefer. Social proof. Everyone around you is drinking it. You're supposed to too. You don't want to be the outlier. You got to be with the crew, and they're all like, yeah, this is fucking amazing. And you're like, yeah, totally, it's great. Oh God, I wish I just want a beer. And that's fine. If you're the only one in the group that feels like you're not getting it, then there's this idea in your head that maybe you're wrong. Loved ones is another one. There's people in your community, in your family, in your friend group who you truly care about, and they really love something, and they'll pour it for you, and they'll be like, try this, and they're watching you, and you hold up the glass, and you're like, oh no, I'm not gonna like this, and they're just expectantly waiting, so excited to see you enjoy this thing they enjoy, and you try it, and you're like, yeah, great. And I think that's actually the most real of all of them. Identity is one where you've decided you're a person who's whiskey serious, and so of course whiskey serious people drink smoky whiskey and high proof bourbon. And so that's what I'm gonna do. And at some point you realize you don't actually prefer it, but no, gotta live up to your own self-image. Uh-oh, you're auditioning for your own self. And that's a bad place to be in. Sunk cost is a real one. I bought this bottle, I don't really like it, but it cost me $100. So what do you do then? And how do you handle all of those things? The question you're gonna need to ask is this whiskey just not for me, ever? Or is it not for me right now? And the answer to that is you may not ever know until later. First, let's talk about Sagamore Rye, 10-year-old. This bottle is a gift from Brandon W. Bartoskowitz. I hope I'm getting that right. Bartoskowitz. I was excited to try this one because I've never tried. I like Sagamore. I'm not a huge rye fan. There are certain ryes that I'm like, yeah, I get why people like that. Sagamore's making their own stuff now. They started with MGP. The 10-year-old whiskey means this is probably whiskey from when they were sourcing MGP and either blending it with their own stuff, but it wasn't exclusively their own stuff. I could be wrong about that. It says on the, there you go, distilled in Indiana, bottled by Sagamore Spirit. So this is back when they were sourcing MGP. This is probably the 95.5 rye, but I haven't gotten to try a 10-year-old rye MGP. I guess Bullet 10 rye was but I like Sagamore. I'm excited about it. This is a mix between two of the different MGP ryes. MGP does a 95.5, which is 95% rye, 5% malted barley, and then they do a 51% rye, 45% corn, 4% malted barley, basically almost a bourbon. And I love that Sagamore blended those two to create a flavor profile. I love it so much. Blending is an art form. Blending is what everyone should be doing at every distillery. It's underrated in a lot of craft guys, and Sagamore got it. Oh my gosh. You know why I probably like this? It smells great. It's like a spicy fruit pie of some sort. It's dark, brown sugar, very pastry-like. but it's got some spices in it. It's almost as if an apple crumble or a light fruit like apricot crumble went and added a bunch of like more nutmeg, more cinnamon. A little spicy. There's a hint, the graininess, even at 10 years old, the graininess of all of these components is very strong. Emma has this tasting note that I've learned that she calls horse cookie, and I had to figure that out. But it's a treat that you give. It's not a cookie made from horses. It's a treat that you give horses that is like a ball of grains and things for them to eat that's held together with molasses as a binder. And they love it. And I've smelled one and went, oh yeah, I get exactly what you're talking about. There's a bit of a horse cookie note in this. Sagamore's Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah, let's try it. That's really good. Spoken as someone who is not a big rye fan, as far as like that's not my default territory. There are ryes that I love, but they're outlier ryes. This is nice. I think probably because of that high corn percentage on one of the parts of the blend, it toned down what I don't like about 95.5 MGP rye. And it gave it this nice vanilla cream kernel that sort of rolls through the center of the palate. Cola, that's what it is. There's this really nice boutique soda cola note floating through there, and I really like that. Well done, Sagamore. And Brandon, thank you for such a generous gift. Cheers to you. Okay. How do you handle walking away from whiskey that's just not for you? Part one, you sit the whiskey down. You say, it's not you, it's me. No, I'm just kidding. For part one is just don't feel bad about not liking something. It's your preferences. You don't owe anybody anything, even the loved one who gave you the bottle. There's no point, especially with alcohol, in tolerating something. I remember when I was trying to eat healthier and like I was watching like what is the calorie on this and what is this thing and just health-wise, what am I consuming? And I realized that I was like, oh, if I'm gonna cheat on rich food, high calorie content, weighty food, and by cheat I mean just take a break and you know what, screw it, I'm gonna have a burger. This is before I was vegetarian. If my brain said, screw it, I want a burger, then part of my brain would go, okay, fine, but if you're just gonna go have a burger, don't make it Wendy's. Go to Jack Allen's and get a restaurant burger, one of the best in Austin. Like, if you're gonna own it and do this thing, then just do it, right? Don't take the lazy shortcut out, right? So in alcohol consumption, I've gotten to this thing where it's like, look, in any given night, alcohol consumption is a thing you have to be careful about. Don't just drink something and add to your alcohol consumption just because it's in front of you feel like you should. Make that choice intentionally. Second is stop performing to opinions. I don't care if everyone in the whiskey world says this is the only whiskey everyone should love, and if you don't like it, then you're an idiot. And you drink it and you think, I don't really like it. Guess what? That's enough. Screw those people. Well, I'm cussing a lot less in the last few videos. A lot less beeping, I feel like. It depends on the video, I guess. Make it official for yourself at home. If you have a bottle at home and you're like, you know what, I just don't like it, do this and this is gonna be super weird, but like do the actual physical act that is this. Take the whiskey and say, I'm sorry, I'm moving on. Move it somewhere else. Maybe there's a display cupboard or a shelf or what I do is I put the whiskey in a section that Emma and I call the gift section. And anytime someone comes over and they turns out they really like something and I think, oh, they would love this, then I give it to them when they leave. And I've given full bottles, like $300 bottles away, because it's like, I don't really like it, but this is something I think this person is gonna really love, and then you get to give this really amazing gift away. Or maybe try some cocktails with it, right? Maybe make some cocktails. But here's what I am gonna say as a qualifier to that, and this will be the wrap up. Just because you don't like something now doesn't mean you might not someday like something. That is not a reason to hoard whiskey. We're not dragons. As I always say, give away the whiskeys. But someday, 10 years from now, whatever, check back in. I hated onions for most of my life, and then somewhere in the mid 2000s, I realized I'd like 2010 plus, I realized actually I kind of like onions. And it took me a while to change my whole brain because I'd been eating like whole meals where my family would make, and they'd be like, we left onions out of this one so you didn't have to eat the onions. And then now I love onions. Never in a million years would I have guessed that. I didn't like Speyside. There was something about it. And then one year after a dry week, I went back and tried some classic Speysides and fell in love. And now it's one of my favorite categories, Speyside Scotch. I always disliked rye, and then I stumbled onto a handful of ryes that I'm like, wait a minute, you're an exception. Why? And you learn something about yourself. So just because you don't like something today doesn't mean you can't come back to it, check in every once in a while and be like, yep, nope, still don't like you. Or, you know what? I missed something. Let the occasion be the guide. Sometimes the occasion is the right time to drink a whiskey, even if it's not your preference. Because it's not about the whiskey, it's about the community and the connection and the moment, or it's about the food that it was paired with. So be open. Don't be afraid to own your opinions. Don't be afraid to be open to changing your opinions. How's that for a dichotomy? Cheers to you. I'm really glad you're here. Even if you don't like this channel now, you should like and subscribe because someday you might.